This is Allegedly in Alberta on the Info with Integrity Network, powered by Streamlabs Talk Studio.
Good evening, it's Darren Thompson. This is Allegedly in Alberta. We are on Treaty 6, and we are ready to roll. Welcome our first panelist tonight, all the way from the Sovereignty in Saskatchewan. Char, welcome to Allegedly in Alberta.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, hello. How's it going?
It's going. We're in Canada, and we've got a word out that there's going to be a budget that is not going to be good for the Indigenous peoples, which I don't know in our history, has there ever been a budget that's been good for the Indigenous peoples?
That's good to say. Yeah.
We
Should
talked.
we ask the cards? Should we ask the cards if it's going to be good for us or not?
Let's ask the cards for sure. And while we ask the cards, we're just going to welcome in our other panelists tonight, NJ Mahikan. NJ, welcome to Allegedly in Alberta.
D'Entrée, welcome. Thank you so much for having me here.
No problem. And Bren, welcome as well.
Oh, she's downstairs now. Just give me a sec. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Char is currently doing the cards to see what we're going to have for a budget, or how's it going to be for the people.
Ooh. Okay. All right. Let's see it.
It can't be good.
Oh. Oh boy.
I can't see the card. Is that the death card?
A little bit promise. The 8 of Cups. It's a trail of brokenness behind them, right? Some are okay. Some are okay. Some are not. The two of Wands, they're trying, they really are, but really we'll be running at the end of the day.
Oh boy.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Yes. Also, just to help everything out here. My wife is here now. She's getting juice for us.
Yeah, to get the good stuff.
Excellent.
So I just want to say hello, Dante. I don't know how you say hello in a nut.
I unfortunately do not know.
All right, better points.
All right.
So Dante and hello, we're here.
We're here, and Bren, if you missed it, Char showed a lot of positives coming for us. In that, the meme where it's all fine as fire is around the dog. Yeah, that's pretty much what the card showed tonight for the upcoming budget. All
right. That's positive.
On the technical side, though, the leak of the budget said it's going to be, I think, there's going to be additional funds for clean drinking water for the Indigenous peoples, which is positive.
Oh my God, that's something that we have always been struggling with. Is like they will my creator. I really am just finally, after how many years that we've been promised and told that they would get clean drinking water. It's frustrating.
Yeah.
Now, if it's going to happen now, then please let it go through.
Right. I think we deserve that.
Right. That's what I think.
Just the bit of the numbers there, the biggest number that everyone is going with right now, it is a $78 billion deficit.
Holy shit.
So it is the largest deficit outside of the 78 billion outside of
Alberta?
This is for Canada.
Wait, we have all the resources and we have a deficit that big?
Yes, it's
That's
78
insane.
billion is what they're projecting, which is to drop to 65 billion next year. Reduce funding, slashing public services, which is always the case. Substantial cuts to immigration, but billions increase for defense spending because that's all important for everyone.
Yeah, I know that's bullshit. Like that for my wife and I, that's fucking bullshit. They should be focusing on helping their own freaking people in their own country.
Yeah, well, they're not talking about any of that sort of thing. Still an issue with the oil and gas emissions cap. Pass the buck like every other government has done so far. So yeah, so that's the positives, if we can say the positives of and the negatives of that budget, and more of that will be released. And it looks like if everything goes to the way it's going to go, we're going to go to another $200 million election. And yeah, more hundreds of millions of dollars to spend on a useless election to elect more white supremacy into power and just pick your color of who you want. There was a lot of bullshit spread by all parties, of course. And this whole thing, when we were told if we brought in Mark Carney as the leader of the Liberals, that things would be solidified and we wouldn't have this issue again. And now we're running into the same horse shit that we ran when Trudeau was head of the Liberals and Harper was the head of the Conservatives. It doesn't matter. It's whatever color it is, they're going to vote as the neoliberals that they are. And people need to understand that democracy and capitalism cannot coexist. So when we are in a capitalist society, we cannot have true democracy, because true democracy means that every vote matters. And this one means the highest bidder wins. And what you choose doesn't matter what we choose, really. As people that want to see change in this system, it's never going to happen. Char, your thoughts?
And within the system, yeah, I agree. I did a spread on this clean drinking water attempt, and it was a good beginning, but we started strong, and then immediately we got a reverse 6 of Wands, which means like there's always like shadow, ego, recognition. They need all that other stuff. They won't just do it, right? It has to come with all the usual colonial playbook tactics, like, oh, I did this, I did that, but it won't be enough. And then the first thought that came to me is, when they say clean drinking water, does that mean bottled water bought from capitalists? I was like, could we be clear on what this means? Does this mean water treatment center?
Yeah. Well, and that
my ex that I live with right now, he would go up to the mines and do work, and he would walk around and show me all the stuff. And it was like, oh shit, they have like the means to create this little thing up here for all their workers, right? And they keep them entertained while they're there too, right? All this stuff. I'm sure they have clean drinking water too.
Yeah.
You know, and like, if it's possible for these corporations to resource extract and build all that stuff there, why can't the Corporation Canada get clean drinking water to its First Nations again? I'm sorry. I don't understand the problem.
NJ, Bren?
What do you have to
getting, like, I don't know why it's taking us so long to get freaking clean drinking water. That's
the problem is it shouldn't take them this long. If somebody needs clean drinking water, why are they not
doing it and not actually
saying that they're going to do it and then immediately going and doing it?
Yeah. I mean, it goes back to the TRC as well, where they had the 99 agreements, right? Darren?
Yes.
Correct.
Goes back to that. And they promised that they would assist Indigenous peoples, but if we can't get clean drinking water, and Trudeau again lied and keep doing it, like, no wonder why the Conservative Party and the Conservative candidates are saying, like, well, see, look, he lied again. But it's like not on behalf of Indigenous people. It's about exactly
Getting ahead.
Yeah, and they're just using it as a thing right now.
But we have to take into account that Trudeau is gone, and it's Carney. And not saying that Carney's any better, but Carney is different. So all the aspects, like if we had to give Carney a chance.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, say again. Sorry.
Like the whole thing is to give Carney a chance. That was the original idea. Not that we figured it was going to be anything good, but we had to give him a chance. So now his chance is here, and what is he going to do with it?
Have you seen pictures of Carney when he first started? And he's like, he's got this like light in his eyes, and he's got a really. Have you seen recent photos of him? He's like shadow side, dark, and his eyes are just black. And he's like, I'm like, man, that is not the Carney we met. And then I started thinking, where the fuck did this guy come from? Do you guys know him from before? Like, do you guys even know him from before? Like, did you follow his career? Because we follow their careers, right? Like, I followed Jack Layton's career until he passed, right? Like, I followed.
Sorry, was it Jack Layton? Like, Jack Layton, was he a Conservative for Alberta running?
No, the Jack Layton was the leader of the NDP.
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 And technically, Jack Layton
we just looked it up. So, where did Mark Carney grow up? Fort Smith.
He was born.
He was born in Fort Smith and grew up in Edmonton.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Of course, it's some guy from the fort.
That's true.
I decided to pull a clarifier card with that spread. This tells you enough. 5 of Swords. Deception. The deception card.
Oh, and is that what
the water? The water thing. It's deception.
Oh, the water thing. Oh, there you go.
Water
thing. Oh, damn. Okay, okay.
The last spirit card.
Wow. Well,
I was gonna say about the whole from Lion King. Deception, disgrace.
It is totally exactly what people are projecting and predicting. The thing about Mark Carney, what got him in is the fact that he was the money man and the brain behind the finance that's kept Canada from falling into the disaster that the US fell in 2008. That was basically the selling feature for Carney. Carney is a former Conservative, worked under Stephen Harper, then went to the Bank of England and was part of Brexit, and then comes back to Canada as Justin Trudeau's advisor, financially, but not on the books, and just looking at what they could do for the Liberals in regards of budgetary restraints and working with that. So everything looked good from the outside. Like you said, he was shiny, he was very outgoing, and now he looks like a typical politician that's been in power for a little while with like the robotic features, the blood eyes or the beady eyes. Like everyone says, like example with Barack Obama. Barack Obama was a handsome black man when he first took office. Then he was a haggard old man by the time he was out in his second term, because the presidency or the leadership is just if you actually lead. Justin Trudeau is a prime example of if we're not leading and we just try and hold everything as basically being the voice of the backdoor politics that are happening with the Liberal Party, He doesn't look any older than he did. And I don't think he'd get Katy Perry if he was older than he did, but totally different story. And rumors are that there's another guy with both of them. So, hey, like, it is very welcoming for the former prime minister. But I digress. We're going to get back to what we're talking about. And Char, I think having your input on this is fantastic. We look at MP Leah Gazin from Manitoba, who put forth a petition to the Liberal government and to the Parliament.
Today I will be reintroducing my bill to recognize residential school denialism as a form of inciting hate. You know, it's been over a decade since the release of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission in Canada. And since that time, we have seen, since the discovery of unmarked graves, an increase in denialism about what occurred in the residential schools. This is horrific, particularly because all members of Parliament unanimously supported my motion in 2022 to recognize what happened in residential schools as an act of genocide, the first genocide that was recognized within Canadian borders. At a time where we are looking at, once again, building a nation on the backs of Indigenous peoples around our lands, territories, and resources, in the name of national interest, in violation of constitutionally enshrined Indigenous rights. If this government is serious about reconciling with Indigenous people, it must ensure the protection of survivors. It was the stories of survivors and our families that put us on a path towards reconciliation. So I'm calling on the government to do the right thing, to take on this bill, to support this bill, and truly honor the gift that residential school survivors provided to Canada. Thank you.
So a lot of points that Leah made there. Big thing that I've seen coming from the white accomplice perspective is in Alberta, particularly Saskatchewan as well. I've got from Saskatchewan, friends in Alberta, those sort of things. These people are not my friends, but they are people that I'm connected to, or like side quests or whatever. That the first comment that I usually see is, "Where are the bodies?" That is the first comment when anything talks about the Every Child Matters or the anything about residential school survivors or the denialism right away.
Yep. Well, see, that's where I'm getting disgusted with the sense of why that's their first fucking question. Pardon my language. I'm just saying, we know. We've done the searches. We've done the scouring of the land. We know there's 250 bodies in Kamloops, and yet they're still denying it. And like we even were talking about, the one horrible thing is they're going out there and trying to dig them up and trying to find them when they're not even their own children. And those are children that were taken from their own families and home.
Char is someone who went to Lebret School, which I don't know if we've discussed it a number of times, but please give the information to the listeners and the viewers of your experience at the Lebret School, which is one of the last residential schools that was open in Canada.
Yeah. Let's see. I just wrote about this the other day. Actually, I was, and I don't have a lot of faith in the Canadian government that to uh, implement and follow through with this, because it would actually implicate a lot of their own people, and it would start a lot of stuff. So I don't think they would be the people to lead in this. But I did point it out because I wanted people to see the difference. Like in Germany, it's illegal to deny the Holocaust. Like it's not something you can be prosecuted for doing that, right? And Nazi symbols are banned. Like you're not allowed to uh like if you accidentally say jail, right? People will look down on you. Like you're talked about. You're not. This is not something that's okay. It's very frowned upon. They have statues. They have stepping stones. I can't remember what else there is. There's other things there to remind people constantly, of the country's shame, because they never want to go back to that. On the other hand, though, you've heard of how Germans fetishize Indigenous culture, right? So it's something that's they've done that, but then on the other hand they do this, and it's such a weird contrast. It's I get with that, but then
Yeah,
the
also, like, adding to the conversation there, I just want to say and add to the point that when it comes to the Reich, like their government place of business with government, it's a glass. It's the reason why it's a glass is because you got to look up.
yeah.
Maybe something like that. That's at least they're learning,
Yeah.
The Reichstag, sorry, the Reichstag. Sorry, I think that's what it's called. But you look up, it's glass. And the reason why it's glass is broken. It's also a reminder that look up. Always look up.
Mm.
And it wasn't for the people, the ones who resisted during the time of the Nazisms.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think?
We don't talk about that enough, resistance, hey, and how
Yeah. People always resist. We've always resisted. And that's the one thing that's coming down to it is people need to realize they need to resist.
Well, the thing that we see right now with, like, especially here in Alberta, with a group that is called the Alberta Resistance, they do anything but resist. And there's a lot of buzzwords that are used by these groups: grassroots and resistance and accountability. We're the Accountability Alliance, and the reason why we chose accountability is to actually see some accountability in here. But other people are just going and using it as a buzzword. We're not, like, that was not the direction. When I created the Alberta Accountability Alliance, it was based on let's freaking get some accountability in this province, be it the current government, be it the administration, be it the municipalities. Like, there's got to be accountability here. This is what's missing. And without accountability and without integrity, we can't move forward into, like, then it is just the resistance. But the problem with the resistance is, and I've heard it from a number of our Indigenous people's connections, is the white patriarchy or the white person who has the privilege that are at these so-called rallies, because they're not protests. Like, I tell people, you cannot protest unless you have a demand. If you don't have a demand, then your protest is a pep rally. So without any demands, and you can say, oh, we demand that, like, we want Daniel Smith to do that, but you're not saying we are not going back to work until you give us this. The ATA, all the teachers, all the unions here in Alberta, they're toothless with their threats, because ultimately they will not give up their positions or their
That's
wealth
true. Yep.
without knowing that they're protected. Then none of them are going into whatever. And then when we're looking at here in Alberta, and this is one of the things we wanted to discuss down the line, is there's a Bill 4 that people need to be aware of. And Bill 4 is the implementation and creation of the Alberta Provincial Police Force. And I've been talking about the Alberta Provincial Police Force since 2021. And I've been warning people that this is coming. And the problem with this, unlike all the other bills that are undemocratic and unconstitutional and all those sort of things, this stops all protest. This stops all resistance. Because if I have a Gestapo and I have my own private police force, because the provincial police force only answers to whoever Marlena Danielle Smith puts in charge.
Yeah, whoever's in power is what you're saying.
It's not regulated by the RCMP. It's not regulated by government. It's regulated by the province.
It's almost like they know that there's something happening.
Say real quick is like, for me, with dealing with the RCs, at least I know how to deal with the RCs. I know how to deal with them. My wife and I, we have been dealing with them for the last week here. Yet they're easier to deal with because we know how to handle them. We know, like, turn your cameras on, turn everything on. But if it's gonna be something that they create, it's so unfair. Like, what the hell? Like,
it's not even unfair. It is the ability to have their own ICE. What you see in the States is going to happen here in Alberta.
Yep. Well, my wife and I both agreed to that. We both agreed to that.
It's just so. Well, now we're sitting here going, everyone's talking about recall this, recall them all, do all this stuff, have all these petitions. And then you've got all these petitions that are being sent to Elections Alberta. Now that the new chief electoral officer is not Glenn Ressler, who was in power when they directly targeted me and ruined my business. It is someone new, and they're actually a separate entity from the UCP government, which Elections Alberta was not during the Jason Kenney years and the start of Danielle Smith.
Oh, fuck Jason Kenney, by the way.
No, thank you. Now, when we look at this, so Elections Alberta has really, like, starting with the Forever Canadian petition, they are looking at things that actual citizen initiatives want to do. Problem is, Elections Alberta gets their funding from the UCP government. And the UCP government last night just pulled hundreds of millions of dollars of funds from Elections Alberta, handcuffing them to be able to do these petitions.
What?
Yes.
Holy fucking shit.
So when you are relying on a outside source, plus they also are not renewing the is it the privacy commissioner or the one of the people that are investigating the corrupt care, Danielle Smith's little game of privatizing healthcare and Sam Raish and all that skybox money and all those sort of things. That person who is investigating them is not being renewed. So his contract will run out, and the investigation will then be taken over internally to make sure that they are taking care of what the province needs. So in one day, the UCP government has just basically cut the citizens' initiatives off at the knees.
Yeah.
So all these petitions that everyone's doing and all excited, and that's what's getting all the Kasich getting all the media and all this stuff. They're about as useful as the piece of paper that you're signing, because everything is going to come back to the premier, who is Marlena Danielle Smith, and she's going to decide what things are going to go forward. And if you cut the funding, and they were already scrambling with more than one petition at once, they were struggling to get people their signature badges. Now it's going to be 10 times harder. And that timeline is still the same. As soon as they approve the initiative, you've got 3 months to get those things. And you also cannot compensate any of your volunteers. You can't do like anything that the super PACs are doing for the UCP or for the Sask party in Saskatchewan, where they're getting paid, the volunteers are paid, everything is paid for them. For these citizen initiatives, they cannot be paid. They can't be compensated. So you're now going on a strictly volunteer basis to do these things. And you are stuck by the actual laws. You can't demand to have access to malls or any sort of public areas. You have to get permission to set up these petitions from these public areas.
Well, so, brother, I want to ask you a question. Goes back to the TRC that the MLA was talking about there. So, how would that help or even hinder us?
What they're doing, or the whole report itself?
The whole report itself and everything that comes back to the MLA talking about, like, there's denialism and everything. Like, how is that linked? How is that linked to that conversation?
MP, just correct you. Yeah, she's member of parliament.
Oh, MP. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, MP. Okay, yeah, MP. Yeah.
So what she's saying and what Char said exactly is you're looking for accountability. And when you have a government and political like politicians across the country that have proven multiple times that they are well, we'll just say it. They're racist, they're homophobic, they're transphobic. Lots of anti-Indigenous rhetoric coming from many MPs.
Oh, definitely.
You're relying on them to vote to ensure that there is accountability for the ass clown that posts "Show me the bodies" online.
Yeah, it's when I saw that video of that person doing it, saying, like, you need to, like, we're gonna go there and dig up graves and whatever. It's like, all right, number one, who the hell are you to go and do something like that? And also, who the hell are you to be the one to go on Indigenous land, Treaty 6 and Treaty 7, Treaty 8, Treaty 9, Treaty 10, the Métis as well, and go and think that you have the right to do that?
Exactly.
Yeah. Char, your thoughts?
What is this fascination with finding bodies? Like, why do you want to disturb the dead? What is so unbelievable about what they did? Like, it's not like I we hear what happened in Frog Lake, the story of Frog Lake. I will reshare it on my Facebook actually today, just so people who don't know this story could hear it again or read it for themselves. But what happened in the Frog Lake massacre, and then they hung, the ones that went after the Indian agent there, and they put them in a mass grave. Like, why is this so unbelievable? I don't understand why, it's not unbelievable when we talk about, the Holocaust. Why is it so unbelievable when we talk about these graves at school? I have elders, old ones who passed in my family who've talked about this in their alcoholism and their addiction, crying over, what they saw when they were in residential schools as children. And these were the old schools, like the ones with the nuns and the priests, like the scary ones, right? And
Yep, 100%. Yep.
So like I don't, and then this whole, it ties into this whole fascination with horror, desensitizing, podcasts, murder mystery bullshit, this Ed Gein bullshit that's on Netflix. Like, what is this fascination with needing to find the body? Why the fuck are you disturbing our dead? We don't go around and do that to you guys. Like, why the fuck? Like, we can't even have our tragedy. Everything we want to do as Indigenous people is constantly motherfucking policed. You're bringing more police to police more stuff. You can't do this. We got to bring more police. We're going to make our own police. We're going to do our police first. We can't feel, do, think, nothing. We're always being policed. It's so annoying. We can't even have our dead and mourn them and have TRC and ask for like all this basic accountability shit. And it's like, where's the bodies then? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Thank you.
Exactly.
Thank you.
What's wrong with us? What's wrong with you? You're talking about children's bodies here.
Yeah.
We're talking about children's bodies.
You want to fucking dig them up? Like, what the hell's wrong with you?
Right?
The thing is what people that are non-believers in this don't realize is what I've personally learned is they can look and look and look, but what they've done to these children's bodies, unfortunately, they're not going to find them. So just let them rest. Like with what they were like, no, like I get wanting to bring them home to their families. But if
No, I think you're saying it a little wrong here. There are the bodies.
There are bodies. I'm not saying that there's not. What I'm saying is,
they're going onto the land though and trying to disrupt.
Yes, but just let Bren finish. Bren's got a valid point. Like, so if we're comparing it with
and this is like, just for viewers out there, this is a little bit of a trigger warning. Like with what they've done, like they've burned them, they've thrown them in the rivers, like they didn't just bury them. There's not just mass graves that they have to look at. Like if it just they're not gonna find everything that they want. So with all of our ancestors telling us what happened, why can't they just take that at face value? Why can't they just listen to what they went through? Listen to the stories that they're telling.
In the end, that's what they're saying. That it's not true. They're lying.
Yeah, and that's my point though. Like it doesn't make sense because they'll listen to their great grandfather's stories passed down and just be like, oh yeah, this happened. But when it comes, but when it comes to Indigenous people, they just
it's like okay,
whatever, it didn't happen. And
just let Bren speak, please.
But it's ridiculous, and it just it hurts. Because they listen to other people, but they don't listen to our ancestors, and they just they're just they were under the influence, they're liars, they're this and they're that, and it's like, but just listen to what they're saying. Listen to the stories that multiple ancestors have went through. Like I can't even imagine what my ancestors went through and what your ancestors went through, and like it's heartbreaking because people like us we're just not listened to. Yeah, that's I'm
okay. Person to speak.
Yeah, I'm good now.
It's just we are never listened to. Like this is a true thing that happened. I don't understand why people are not listening.
Yeah, exactly.
When it comes to TRC and like everything, it was supposed to be an agreement with the Canadians and with Indigenous peoples, but it hasn't been followed. Brother Darren, you were saying that how many clauses were actually agreed upon?
I believe the last count was 16. Is that correct? Out of the
For the 94?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
94.
So I think it was they're working on around 16.
Yeah, so
I
like
think 9 are done, and they're trying
yes,
to implement
they've
more.
done less than 10 sort
Yeah.
of thing. So
Yeah.
it's just a ridiculous number of
It shouldn't be
In
that
10
way.
years. In 10
But
years.
yeah, and they keep promising all these freaking things every time a new politician comes in, especially here in Alberta. They keep promising they're going to follow the rules, they're going to follow TRC, and they're going to do this, and they keep telling Indigenous people that it's going to happen, yet it doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
They think they don't have to follow through with us.
Wait, hold on. What?
No, because they think they don't have to follow through with us.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, and then I think the other thing too is it's like a loop of it's like a loop of karmic suffering. Once they found a way to, okay, they want reconciliation, okay, well, let's make it an annual thing. They'll bring back their suffering. We'll have to remember it annually, and then if you're working on something, I don't know about any other survivors. I think others do feel this, that whenever we hear about it again, we hear new bodies, new discoveries, it brings and rushes it all back again. And the feelings, the mourning, the suffering, the sorrow, you feel that, because it's in your bloodline. It always comes back. It doesn't get as easier as time goes on, because these are children we're talking about. They're children,
Yeah, that's true.
babies who were taken and then suffering and then left alone to die. Like that I can't even. I have 5 children. Like I can't. And then for like it's. And then when we talk about Canada and the United States, like the white people, the non-natives looking at this, it's easy to understand, because who wants to believe the worst? Who wants to say, where are the bodies? Like, who wants to believe the worst? And when you look at it from that point, like, really, if that's real, then why don't we, like, it's like that. And it's easier to gaslight and make all these people, believe that whatever. And then
Well, I think what I'm saying, like, with that point is they want us to make us think that we don't even recognize what the hell happened when it comes to original school and the bodies that were there. So it's gaslighting in a mere sense, where it's trying to make us feel like we're crazy, like we're crazy, and we're just these crazy Indians who just made up this massive story. When we're going, like, we know, we've seen.
yeah.
But it's the comparison. So here's the thing: everyone is all talking about we're coming close to the 11th of November, which is the big thing about remembering the soldiers who fought for our country and all that sort of stuff. Are you going to Flanders Fields to dig up the graves to make sure that those Canadians are dead there?
Okay. Sorry, I got to laugh because it's me. I'm like, fucking yeah. There you go. Thank you.
There's the same question, and if you want to go to something closer to thing, now that we've got the new mayor of New York is Mandami, so that the fact that he that a socialist has become the new mayor of New York during this terrible time, the guy he beat in Cuomo was known for the notorious getting elderly sick in with COVID in the senior centers, and the bodies were so buried, like there were so many dead bodies that they started to just put them in like refrigerator trucks and bury them under garbage bags and everything. Is anyone checking for those bodies of the senior people that were dead during COVID?
I just heard about in Vegas, they found a bunch of bodies in the desert too. And it was funeral homes dumping bodies.
Yeah.
Just out in the desert. And
Yet they want to drag up our children and our people who we've lost in the schools and everything. Yet that's more important than finding what's going on in Vegas or finding out.
It's the traumatization. It is the constant traumatizing of the Indigenous peoples. Because as long as you're traumatized, then you can't fight back. If you're dealing with heartache and trauma and being traumatized and going through generational trauma, you cannot fight back as strong as someone who isn't, right? So that's the key is for the white colonial society to continue to gaslight the Indigenous people in regards to the trauma. And
I think the other thing too is all these initiatives to MMIW and Truth. It's always done like we're doing it through a modern Western colonial lens as well. Yes. And the way we do memorials and stuff, it's that day, September 30th, even in Indigenous culture, when we do memorials and stuff, we do it for a cycle. It's like, for example, when somebody passes, they'll have a feast every year for 4 years, right? And then after that, they work on letting go and moving on, and they carry that person with them. So they'll still do memorials and stuff and whatever, but they work after that. I've mourned, I've done my thing, blah blah blah, and they move on. When we move the way we do things into this colonial sphere and we mark TRC and all that stuff, what are we actually doing? Besides, reigniting stuff when we're trying to still actualize, we have people suffering still. And then not only that, like the conversation around TRC and residential school, it's very like elderly focused. And we've had survivors that went to school in the 80s and 90s. Why aren't we talked to about stuff? We have fresher memories of it too. And not only that, a lot of the abuse that we went through wasn't from priests and nuns. It was from our own fucking community. A lot of our own people were abusing us, and we don't talk about that because that requires us to take accountability for our own actions and for what we did to each other. And that's something that really personally bothers me because we're only focused on what they did to, well, what about the stuff that we came and brought home and we did to each other too? Are you saying that's okay? Just because we all went to school doesn't mean that's okay. It never was okay. And
with your permission, actually, can I share? Can I talk about that real quick with you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, when it comes to that kind of stuff, obviously we hold people like that accountable. We don't. I can't speak his name, but somebody was just as horrible. And yes, he was a survivor from foster home. Mm-hmm. And I did call him out, and he is being punished for it. But you're right. Sorry, I'm a foster home survivor myself. 13 years inside there. The things that happened were just as similar as what happened in residential school. Mm-hmm. So it's I can see where you're coming from. So let's have a conversation about it. Because like I made sure that the guy that was in the foster home with me, even though he was older than me, he is now in jail. I don't know. Like that. Let's talk about it.
So what are we talking about? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all good. No, it's all good. So with residential school, I know it's horrible. I am a foster home survivor, a place where I spent 13 years of my life. It was the most horrible years of my life until I was 13. Your questions are really valid, so I just want to just keep going with that. Like, what do you like? Just keep asking questions.
I don't know. I guess it's just like with all that, what do we do now, right? Like, how do we move forward from our experiences. And, I can understand that can leave you, like with my experiences, I'm estranged from a lot of my family because of how they choose to not work through that stuff, or
Yeah.
like
Like,
honestly, do
yeah.
that work. So I have to find my own
Mm,
community, like with you guys and other people
mm.
that I work on building with. And unfortunately, I find that a lot of us are doing that. We have
Yeah.
to separate ourselves from our toxic families and find community, because
That's actually a really good point. I think that's what I was talking about before
yeah,
I got so delayed there. Is that's what we're doing. We are separating those who won't heal and refuse to heal or will not heal themselves.
yeah, I
And then
agree.
for us who actually survived and we hold our ground, like we are different from that, and it's
Yeah.
hard. It's fucking hard.
Oh my God, is it ever hard?
It's fucking hard because I want to say that he's my brother, even though even though things he's doing and things he's done, I'm still sitting here going, no. Like we grew up in Bostrom together, but the things you were doing, you're just as worse as the priests. You're just as worse.
You're just as bad.
You're just as bad. There we go. Yeah, thank you. You're just as bad.
Yeah, yeah. I totally get that. And I don't think we talk about that. Like we always talk about how bad they were, but what about the behaviors we picked up from there too? And why aren't we talking about them more? Like we always excuse them by, like, even our own men and stuff, like, oh, they were abused. But it's like, okay, but I was abused and I don't abuse others.
Yeah. Well,
And I'm like,
that's
not
why
fair.
I'm standing going like, okay, look, I made my mistakes in my life, but I'm not going out there and hurting other people. It's like shit. If I fuck up, you fucking tell me. Like shit. Like damn. But I'm not I'm not doing what they did to me. Basically, that's end all be all.
Yeah.
I'm not doing what they did to me.
It's the basis of breaking the trauma cycle, right?
Yes,
so for myself,
exactly.
being
Yeah.
through a lifetime of trauma, like if you look at the ACE test, if anyone's familiar with that, I score 19 out of 20. The only thing that I haven't been is spent time in prison outside of.
How
Yeah,
is it 19? I thought it was 10. They
I
thought
was-
of 10 more traumas.
yes, there's 10 more traumas.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
my God.
I scored 19 out of 20. And
Holy crap, really?
yeah, it's crazy. Like I should be like highly medicated and totally
Well,
just
I guess you should be sent to the hospital, shouldn't you?
exactly.
Wait to Pinoca.
But the point is, no, we're not going to go to Pinoca because with the UCP in charge. Yeah. Anyway, point being is the fact that I chose at it. Like I was beaten as a child. I was mentally, physically, emotionally abused by my mother, who was a single mom. Then we got together with the stepdad, and stepdad knocked me unconscious when I was 17. When I left home, I was given the ultimatum that I couldn't come home, but if I came home, I'd have to go to school at Wilcox and go to Notre Dame with the priests and the nuns. And I'm going, no, I'm not a star hockey player, so that's not a good fit for me. So yeah, I went on my own. But I have 2 children. I've never laid a hand on my children. I've tried to not raise my voice to my children. All the toxic behavior that was provided and directed at me, I've tried everything to break that. And it's fucking hard because when you're taught a certain way of shut up or I'll give you something to cry about, and we didn't have timeout in our house, we had knockout. It was something that that's just your life. That's just what that's what we did, right? And then when you go to therapy or you go and talk to people and they go, that's not normal. I had a normal, well, what was normal for you? Oh, I had this, and going, and then you get down to the nitty gritty with them, and then they realize that they were abused as kids, but not the physical abuse that they got. They got the emotional abuse and the gaslighting and the making themselves like and having to deal with the eating disorders and stuff like that because of weight issues and all this sort of shit. And
that's my wife right there. My wife actually can tell you right there that's exactly what she went through.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
And ultimately, it's about control, right? This is about the control of society on people. And if they can control us and make us like make us look like the crazy ones, right? Like it's that whole thing of nothing wrong is going on here. We're all on the up and up, and we're going to fix this, and we're going to get you clean water, and we're going to do all these things. And if you don't believe us, well, that's because you're a tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorist, and there's nothing that's going on behind the scenes. However, if you use critical thinking and you realize that they're just abusing you just like your parents abused you. If you came from an abusive situation in foster care, that's what the government's doing. It's just a different kind of violence. We're all being violently beaten on a daily basis. And
I ignored and said that we're liars no matter what.
Yes, of course. And it's
you're right though. Like what you're talking about makes a lot of sense because that's what I have gone through in my entire life is being told that when I'm saying something, oh, you're lying. You are making it up. You're just a drunk Indian or a stupid Indian or whatever it is. And I'm holding my ground, fighting and holding my ground. And you're telling me that that's how you see me? It's like, seriously? And you're right. It's so fucking frustrating.
Yep.
It's so fucking frustrating. Like, no matter what I do, even if I fucking kiss their white asses and fucking go to church and become a Christian and get baptized and all this kind of shit, yet I'm the one who's the enemy. When the cops show up, it's like, oh, well, I'm going to have my hand on my gun. Then it's like, well, what the hell? Like, TRC, dude. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not a threat. What the fuck are you guys doing? And honestly, it's so fucking stupid, Brother Darren.
I wholeheartedly agree. Now, with that being said, I'm going to show you something that's a fucking trigger. Guaranteed it's going to piss you off.
All right.
But this was what was posted by the leader of Take Back Alberta and good friend of our current premier, Danielle Smith, because she's in the fucking photo with them.
Fuck Danielle Smith.
So there it is. I'm tired of the Canadian myth that First Nations were a noble and good people who were oppressed by settlers. They were Stone Age savages. Do you know what the first thing they did when they got guns? They committed genocide on one another.
What the fuck?
And that is David Parker, leader of Take Back Alberta, good friends with Danielle Smith. She was at his fucking wedding. His idiot wife is with Juno News. And this is the shit that our government allows to just run roughshod.
What the actual fuck?
And if you look at the date, November 1st, 2025.
Yeah. What the actual fuck?
This is the shit that they allow us to see, but yet if it's actually happening and it's newsworthy and people deserve to know about it across the globe, oh, you're in Canada, you can't see that. It's restricted. Yes. What the fuck? But that's the shit that we're allowed to see? Like, that's just... Oh my god.
Like honestly, it's too fucking frustrating. The whole fucking that statement. Oh yeah, well they're from the Stone Age. It's like, okay, where the fuck did you come from? Like seriously, like that's my biggest question. Where the fuck did you come from?
White supremacy.
Have been fighting. We are able to make pemmican and survive. We know how to survive the winters. We have a really strong. We have everything strong. Yet, where the fuck did you come from? If you came here from across the seas and didn't know how to survive, how the hell are you looking at us going, we're the savages, when it's like we saved your fucking asses way back in the day? I mean,
the
that's
concept of white supremacy, internalized or not. And that's what people face. That's what the Indigenous peoples face. That's what anyone who is looking to change the system, this is the horse shit that we face.
Yep.
And this is allowed. And by allowing shit like this and being the opposition in the NDP, just coming out and saying, oh, this is disgusting, we need to stop this, but doing nothing to stop it.
Yeah. As a Cree man from Treaty 6 territory in Alberta, they need to fucking do something. I am getting sick and tired of just listening to them being like, we will do something, we will do something, we will do something. I'm sitting there going, what the hell are you going to do? And like, I haven't seen shit all in the longest time here. Like, so what the hell are they going to do? What, they're going to just sit there and just, be like, okay, well, they need to stop this. It's like, okay, what are you going to actually fucking do?
Let us save their asses and then complain about us?
Yeah. Sorry, what's that?
Let us save their asses and then complain about us.
Yeah. Like, it just, the creator. Like,
and this is the thing. I know no one is ready. Like, any of the people that are supposed to be or are promoted as the saviors, we shouldn't have saviors anyway. Like, this is the biggest problem with society now, is we have fucking culture of worshiping. We worship celebrities, we worship politicians, we worship sports stars. They're all people. They're flawed. They do good things, but they're flawed. And we never look at the flaws of these people. We always just look at what good they do. So just as an example, in Alberta, we look at the former mayor of Calgary in Giotti, and she fucking was promoting herself as this socialist ideal, and she was the one who took a entire day, got every organization that helps the houseless population in Calgary to come for a meeting, and while they were in a meeting, she directed the police to go and tear down their encampments. So there was no one to help the houseless encampments because they were all tied up in a meeting with her. So how the fuck can you say that you're for the people?
That's a really good question. Is like, here in Alberta, it's getting worse and worse. Like, it's every fucking day. Pardon my language, but every fucking day it's getting worse and worse. Yeah. Well, we're like all the sorry, all the houseless are losing their homes.
Yes,
like even here in Red Deer, we see people going up and down the streets with what they got. That's all they got.
Yeah, and because they closed all the shelters, and other than the religious ones. Like yes, we can have the fucking mustard.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, even with the religious one, though, is they keep saying, like, okay, well, you have to believe in Jesus Christ. You have to believe,
and the Holy Spirit will feed you.
Yeah, and make sure that you say your prayers before we give you.
Make sure you've had no drugs in you, because if you have drugs, then you're just a drug addict, and we can't help you.
Yeah, which is bullshit, and that's just Red Deer. Like, it's so fucked up. So we're supposed to starve and die, like people who are on the streets. We're supposed to starve and die because you simply say you have to say thank you, Jesus Christ.
Right. And while we starve and die, this is where Premier Marlena Daniel Smith is in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Fucking hell.
And claiming that she's doing things that will help better the economy in Alberta. Saudi Arabia, if anyone doesn't know, Saudi Arabia is the biggest oil producer in the world and the richest country in the world. They won't tell you, but they have trillionaires already. Everyone says Elon Musk is going to be the first trillionaire. No, there's already a crown prince or one Saudi fucking royal family member that's a trillionaire because they just piss away oil with OPEC. They lose billions upon billions of dollars a day just to make sure that they keep the prices down.
Well, so what the hell are you doing going to this area when there's so much going on here in Alberta?
She is in that area so she can sell the province out. She wants to be the queen of Alberta under a Saudi regime. She wants
that makes no sense. But this is why we're fighting, because this is Indigenous sovereignty territory. It's Treaty 37. It's Cree, Blackfoot. It's our territory. So what the fuck is she doing leaving to the country? What's that, sir?
She doesn't care.
No. And it's not about what people need to understand. It's not about money. Everyone goes, oh, this is all about money. She is fucking throwing more money away on frivolous shit that could help the houseless and could help fucking people that are addicted and people in need. She's just throwing money away because she can. And the people that support her are just as selfish and greedy.
They're just as culpable.
Power.
They're just as culpable.
Just for power. They just want power. And that when it comes down to the NDP, everyone goes, oh, well, if we get the NDP in, they're just as culpable. They will not be.
They're not going to do anything. They're not going to do anything. No. I have been watching, and they're not going to do anything at all. Like, as a Cree man on Treaty 6 territory, this is my homeland. This is where I was born. As a Cree man, they have not even done anything that actually will help us. Nothing at all. And I want to make that pretty clear to our listeners and followers. They won't do anything for the Indigenous peoples.
Exactly.
You're talking about the NDP, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know in what is it, Manitoba, from the forest fires over the summer, there's still people in Manitoba who have been stranded since the forest fires, and they're still stranded right now. Some of them are homeless right now, and Wab Canoe is not doing fuck all about it. He's talking about the landfill though, and powwow dancing for clout. You know,
Wab Canoe is the person that everyone's looking at as the hero.
I mean, on defense, like Wab Canoe was the first Indigenous person, though, right? Like he's the first Indigenous leader.
I mean, I guess.
Yes, I get it. Yeah, he's the first Indigenous leader. He's doing the best he can because he has to fight against the white colonial system. He also has to fight against a lot of pressure. Yet, I understand. You know, I'm just saying that for me personally, it's at least we have a first fucking Indigenous leader who's actually doing something.
But
yes, he's not the best when it comes to some situations, but at least he stood up and fought, and he still fights even in the House of Parliament.
Well, he's in the legislature because being the the premier of Manitoba. So it's
Yeah.
Parliament is the federal side. But this brings our valid point of one of the other subjects we were going to take on today, and that is Indigenous tokenism. And
Oh my God. Yes.
this is one of those examples that a lot of
bring that up.
that we're talking about. This is one of those examples that a lot of Indigenous they're talking about is that practice of making a superficial or symbolic effort to include Indigenous peoples without making real systemic changes to support them. So when you say the powwows, you say all those other things, this is what Wab Canoe is doing. Not saying he hasn't done good things, like the fact that he pushed for the actual searching of the
Landfills.
of the landfills. That is huge. That is huge to have.
But I think too, though, it's very true. Like, because even with myself being Indigenous and with having fought for my 3 kids and everything, I'm still tokenized because it's like, oh, look at him. Look at him. He has long hair. He's strong and proud. Tokenism is really fucking real.
But the key with the tokenism is it's how they can utilize it, right? So we're looking at it as
well. It's
all of you have been invited to events to be the token Indigenous person.
My entire time, even my wife is saying the same thing. We have been gone to something that it's like, oh, well, you wear your regalia or you do something and you do smudging or something like that. And so they're going like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, are you fucking kidding me? But tokenism is a real thing. It's a real problem. Because that's when they just take advantage of it, no matter what.
And that's the key. And I'm sure, Char, you've said
it. What's up? Yep.
Said it to me. You've said it online. You've talked about it numerous times of how people just want your services and want to not provide any compensation and just go, you know what, this is some really good publicity for you. Because publicity can pay the bills, right? You know, publicity feeds.
It could. I'm not mad about it as much as I was. I do see a lot of people who really take their intellectual property to the extreme, where they're copyright suing, aka Taylor Swift, for being a muse or some sort of inspiration to fans even. So I'm like, okay, girl, you're taking it a little too far. I know people who will go and put copyright infringement on everything as soon as they see a screenshot, even if it's a screenshot of their work with their name on it, they will still go copyright infringe and say those people are stealing from them. So like, you know, you don't own words, thoughts, and ideas forever. And like, I get like, you know, there's a point where you're like literally taking somebody's idea and placing them out there as your own. But then there's a point where like, why can't we give credit where it's due to build community? Why can't we say, you know, Char inspired me to do this? And then why is it so hard to lift me up as an Indigenous woman? Mind you, there's 5% of us, less than 5% of us in the Canadian population, and there's over half of us missing. Why can't you lift an Indigenous woman up and just say, you know, and I don't even ask for a lot. I say when I give inspiration, when I blah, 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 you get an idea from me. Put some tobacco, make an offering, you know, say thank you. That's it. You don't even have to talk to me. You know, go feed the birds, go do something nice for an old person. Just give back in some way, you know, and I'm not even, but like it's the building community, the giving back, the opening the line and being vulnerable to talk to me, and maybe we'll be friends after, you know, like why isn't that a route that we can take? Like that bugs me for that. And then when it comes to like, what were we talking about? Tokenism. Okay.
Yes.
So we've been taken, and we've been placed in this situation. We're assimilated now. We have to talk about this walking in two worlds bullshit. It's assimilation, okay? Let's stop pretending it's not. When we don't have the opportunity to govern ourselves and to choose, self-determination into the point where we are allowed to be a sovereign people, we are allowed to build our own communities. I've been calling out FSIN because they piss me the fuck off. Why are you calling yourself Federation of Sovereign Indigenous? What? What's sovereign about you? What is sovereign about you? You still rely on funding from all the bands. You still after Ottawa, you're getting breadcrumbs from them. You're taking policy and direction from them. You're not even fucking building a matriarch council. You're not rebuilding tribes or headmans. You're not looking into revitalizing old governance. You're not doing anything like that. You're building, you're pulling colonial full stops. You're doing resource extraction. You're going back into socialism, capitalism, and what was the other ism? I don't know that. Communism, and they're all the isms, right? And they're all under imperialism and colonialism. There's no other way of looking at things, like even them. And then they want us to like not look at this 34 million reasons why we should be staring at them and dance over here about this. And it's like, what is sovereign about you people? Like, I don't get it. Like, you don't even understand what true sovereignty means. Like, and there's this whole thing about like, what does sovereignty even mean in Canada? What does that mean? Do any of these groups even have an authentic idea of what it means to be a true sovereign person and free from the chains of colonial Canada and its corporation? Like, because at the end of the day, like, that's what it is. When you enact policies and rules that protect capital and imperial over its own citizens, and you're constantly doing that, that's what you're living under. And we don't talk about this enough, and why our own leaders, they went to school for years, they did all the thing, they did the diddle dance in the universities, they got their degrees, they immerse themselves in these business bureaucratic communities, and now they're out there leading, and they're doing it all the white way. And then even when they look into our collective future, they're looking at it through the white colonial lens, aka let's go back into resource extraction, aka let's keep raping Mother Earth and keep doing this to her and keep trading and keep doing this. Okay, why? We don't want to do that, but the leaders insist on there's a grassroots leader disconnect there, and we're not talking about this enough. The hierarchy, it's the same thing in Indian country, and I hear people like talking about Wabkanu, and isn't the fucking Governor General Indigenous too? What the fuck is that doing for us? We still got fucking residential school people on the street sleeping. It doesn't matter if we have a goddamn Governor General who's a fucking Native. Like, does it matter? Is it doing anything for those residential schools survivors on the street? No. For those 60 schools survivors on the street? No. Doesn't do nothing for them. They're all still out there. We got Wabkanu. Nope, nothing. Leah's MP. Nope, nothing. All their people are still there. Some of their people are scattered all over Manitoba, homeless. It's not doing anything to have these leaders in there, especially when you have leaders over at the other end of the country saying, where's the bodies? And they're allowed to be a leader. Like, what the fuck? This is crazy. And we want to keep
it's so insane. You're right. Like, I'm so like just like, what the right? Like it's actually totally true. Like, oh my fucking crater. Like, what the actual living fuck?
It's making me crazy.
Yeah, right. But yeah, what you're saying is true though. Like, there's still people on the streets, and they're not doing anything for our peoples. Like, they're not. Let's just be honest, right? There are people with addictions, people who are going to lose their homes, etc. And we have Indigenous leadership. Yet it's like, okay, what the hell are you doing? Like, you'll cape to the white man immediately when it comes to Parliament, which is stupid, which I find really fucking stupid.
Yeah.
No, hold your ground. Like, hold your ground and tell them, fuck you, you're on Treaty 6 or Treaty 7 land, or you're on fucking Treaty 8, you're on Métis land, or you're on Algonquin land. Stop it. Like, seriously. Like, hold your ground. But they won't. And that's what I'm seeing, is I'm getting more and more frustrated myself personally, as seeing people who won't hold their fucking ground and being saying exactly where they are. It's like, okay, Wapcanoe, say you're on Algonquin land and hold your ground against the Parliament of Canada. Because Parliament of Canada, they're racist as fuck. Nobody gives two fucks about Indigenous people. He needs to hold his land. Sorry, hold his stand. Sorry, stop land. My bad. Sorry.
There was one more thing I was saying earlier. I mentioned this the other day on my page about how the FSI, and I was talking about matriarch councils earlier and how they haven't done anything to reinstate those and why. And then I was, my city of Saskatoon, they put a matriarch council together, and it's like, okay, but what gives you the authority to do that? Who do you think you are implementing that? Why didn't you partnership with either the FSIN, whatever, those bitches, and then the local tribal council? You should have been contacting STC to uphold this. Like, why are you guys the one doing it? And then I started looking into some of the stuff. Oh, grants, right? They probably applied for the TRC grants, and then the MMIW2G grants and whatever other grants they can get for bullshit. And which is fair. But then I remember too that for some of the stuff that they were doing for women around here, FSIN was holding it up, and it was because we had I think our fourth vice chief was Ali Bear at the time, Chief Ali Bear, and she was the one who was in charge of the women's stuff. Being a woman, of course, they'll give her that portfolio, right? Which makes sense. Like, but it's just, and then it was never a certainty that there would be more of this specific ceremony every month because they couldn't dedicate anything to it. Although they dedicated 33 million other things to other things, whatever. But they couldn't keep these ceremonies going for the women. They couldn't guarantee it. They couldn't get the funding, all this stuff. And yet, it just blows my mind. And yet, the city comes in, they start this council, and it's like, okay, that's a great way to do that. But then you'll pick somebody. Okay, we'll pick an Indian that's easy to work with, somebody we know we can control, somebody we know we got wages for.
Yep.
Pick somebody who will pick the elders who are easy to work with, who will pick easier to work with grassroots people, women who don't speak up. They only speak up and they think the way we want them to think. So now they're, okay, well, we're doing this. And then they'll send it out to other cities, look at this program we did, blah, blah, blah. It's and we're good. Look how good we are. And then they do it. And then they use these token Indians to run it, and then it looks like we're doing something. It looks so good on paper. The pictures look great. Everything looks great on social media.
Thank you.
The reality is, we're not making it. Just looks good.
Yep. Thank you. Yes, that's what we deal with here in Red Deer. Thank you, my creator. That's what they do. They find the people that will not fight back or hold their ground.
Exactly.
That's what they do. Even here. That's what they do. And what you just said extremely is happening with any kind of them trying to take control of our situation or try to tell us what we can or cannot do. That's exactly what the hell is happening here. And thank you for saying that, because that is true. Tokenism needs to fucking stop. We are not token. We are Indigenous. We are powerful. We are strong. And this needs to stop.
And I feel bad for the people who are caught up in it, because, even when they do see it, they continue to still stay in it. And there's power in owning that you were misled. There's power in owning your story, your shadow side. Like, this doesn't define you. And I wish more people and leaders, if a leader would fucking stand up and be like, I don't like that I'm this chief. I don't appreciate, I hate these policies. I don't want to be an Indian Act chief anymore. I would have so much respect for that person if they had the balls to get up and like, I don't want to fucking, I don't want headdress from you guys. I want a headdress from my people, you know, like authentically given, not because some Indian Act voter bullshit, you know, because my people see me, not my assimilated people see me, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think it would be amazing if we actually had the matriarch system back in place again, like how we had it back in the day. Like the Crees, it was the matriarch who decided warfare, raiding, whatever it was. They would tell us how to do it, and the minute they said, "Okay, stop it," it's like, "Okay, yeah," and we stopped immediately, and then we would have the peace pipe. Well, what they say the peace pipe, but we would have tobacco together.
Yeah.
Right now, in this day and age, it's so matriarch, which is confusing as hell. 'Cause it's like, okay, so we're all having a pissing contest because our dicks are too small. I don't fucking care. Like, what the fuck? Like, can we just calm the fuck down and just chill? Like, damn, dude. Like, do you want to have supper with me, or do you not want to have supper with me? Like, shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, my wife, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm so confused.
The whole concept is, like you said, it's all based on the white patriarchy, right? So instead of having a matriarch, if you have a matriarch, even if it is a female in a power position, they are still being directed by white male authority in whatever way. It's a white male driven system.
Yeah, brother. So, in that sense, then, sorry, in what sense?
In what sense?
Like the woman would be being used as the token and like the face of everything.
Oh, so it's a
and so
second
behind the
tokenism.
scenes, men would be telling her what to do.
Even if the woman is like, say we have it in this whole entrepreneurship bullshit, right? This whole thing of the grind and be your own boss and all this other stuff. Like it was girl boss and all these sort of things, but it was driven by the ultimate goal is to be accepted by the white male, because a white male holds the power. For whatever fucking reason, someone can't figure out the white male are stupid and shouldn't hold any power anymore because they make dumb decisions. That it should be, if you look at the most successful countries and their leadership, the leadership that had the most success was run by a matriarchal system. When a woman was in power, that was when the government was run the most efficient and why the country is in a better state. Like everyone compares Alberta to Norway. Well, how many times has Norway had a female prime minister as opposed to some fucking idiot man? One of the biggest countries that showed women in power that works is Iceland, and having the majority of their council was women, and they were able to get out of deficit and budget accordingly because they were looking at it from a female perspective. Like, why the hell would you have men decide on how a woman should raise their kid, or how, like, a matriarch is coming from a familiar or a family type system, even if they're not ones that have had babies themselves, they would be older siblings or an aunt and have that sort of background of being able, like knowing what it takes to run a household or to take care of a family. So having men decide that makes no fucking sense. So even with Danielle Smith in power here in Alberta as the premier, she's not in power. The power is behind her in a bunch of men.
I was saying,
it makes a lot of sense, though, actually, honestly.
my profile, I was like talking about these leaders, and I was like making fun of the ones that didn't have kids or like even a partner, and I'm like, why are they unfuckable? Like, why aren't they in a relationship? Why aren't they unfianced? Why aren't they wifed up? Why aren't they dating anybody that we know about? Like, why are
Jason
they unfuckable?
Kenney is a prime
Why are they
example of that.
unfuckable? Why are they leading us
goodness.
when they aren't? If you're not fuckable and you can't have a relationship with somebody, I don't understand why you're leading families, people, groups. I'm sorry, I don't get it. And this
Exactly.
is why mothers and matriarchs.
Yep, 100%.
It comes back to the whole thing of like our federal government. As much as people dislike Trudeau is fuckable. Many people want to fuck Trudeau. And we could see the signs everywhere.
Fuck boys.
Katy Perry's with them right now. So, I mean.
And so is Didlow. But anyway.
Wait, what? That's a different. Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's a three. They're a thruple, according to Diplo, yeah. Anyway.
Okay, well, yeah.
Nice, Darren. Jeez.
So you go both ways.
He brings the tea.
He brings it's
Darren. He brings the tea.
It is brought tea. He brings the tea. That's the tea in it, right? I bring the tea. But I mean, it was posted on like multiple sites and whatever. Anyway, point being is the fact that Pepe Le Pew, Pierre Poilievre, regardless if he's married, he's not fuckable. Like, there's just no fuckability to that guy. Scott Moe, there's no fuckability to Scott Moe. He should not be leading. So, like, if we're going by that...
Me not laughing right now in the background.
If we're going by the fuckability factor, then, yeah. Like, no. Like, you shouldn't... They should not be there. If we look at what was it, the movie with John Cena and Idris Elba as the Prime Minister of England. See, Idris Elba is a fuckable man, so that's why he should be a leader.
Oh my!
Right now, pick fuckable next leader for democracy.
Well, when we look at the people that have made the worst mistakes, they were all ugly, unfuckable people.
No,
hold on,
no,
Vladimir.
Nixon. No, just kidding.
Hitler, prime example.
Nobody wants to fuck him.
Did you just say Himmler?
I said Hitler, yes.
Wait, what? Why?
Yeah.
Because he's an ugly fucker.
Nobody wanted to fuck him, so he fucked everybody.
Stephen Harper, the same thing.
Fair point.
I'm sorry. Give me a second. I'm taking a breath. I love you.
You know what? Take several.
Okay. The newlyweds get it, okay? The newlyweds get it. I gotta explain this.
No. It's like you said, us old people here who've been married and multiple things, we understand these things. But if you look at the history of whatever, most of the leaders are not like look at the movie Love Actually.
They're not fuckable. They're not fuckable.
Why was Hugh Grant at the time very, very handsome, very charismatic in that movie? He's not now. He's an old fucking goat. But then he was fuckable.
I can't even believe he had Elizabeth Hurley and he fumbled her.
I can't believe who Elizabeth Hurley's with now.
I can't believe Keith Urban fumbled Nicole Kidman. She did not see that coming. She was blindsided, apparently. That's the worst. Like, you fumble Nicole Kidman? Like, bro.
But Nicole Kidman wanted Jimmy Fallon at one point. So
can you blame her, though? I mean, he's so funny.
It's funny, but it's Jimmy Fallon. Anyway, we're gonna come back we're gonna bring it back on the rails here because we're heading into the 90-minute plus mark here. We've had great conversations. Where do we go from here? That's the question. NJ, Bren, what do you? Yeah. Where do we go? Unlike the last of the conversation where we went off the rails, we come back and we're talking about the leadership. We're talking about Indigenous sovereignty. Where do we go from here?
Well, not Indigenous sovereignty. I believe what I feel is that a leader needs to hold his ground and not cave to what other white people want them to do.
It's gonna be nice if they palm people.
Yeah, but no, holding the ground and actually listening to the Indigenous people and not letting other politicians, white politicians especially, let us bully them. That's what I think. And I think I'm just sick and tired of being told what I can or cannot do, and our politicians who are Indigenous, who are holding the line, who are actually talking about what they want to do, they should also hold their line and not let anyone tell them what the hell they can or cannot do.
Very good point, Bren.
Same thing, but guess it's also comes back to just tired of not being listened to.
Yeah,
that's a good point. Actually, that's a really fucking good point. Yeah. Yeah. I guess that's basically it.
Yeah.
Char, give you the last word. Let you. We want to know about sovereignty in Saskatchewan. We know we're working on that. We're gonna be releasing that podcast at some point. Yeah. But what is the sovereignty in Saskatchewan for you?
I think for me, I think once this idea of sovereignty and governance, back in the 2000s, they brought this idea to our communities, and I laughed at it because, knowing the corruption and the nepotism and everything that has been introduced to our communities since Indian Act implementation and Office of a Tree Commissioner got involved, Indian agents, all this shit, the past system. We have corruption in our communities now. We don't have the discernment we had back then, and the same divinity that we were able to access. And not only that, the violence, the domestic violence, we have a disconnect between our male and female, masculine, feminine people because we're not being heard. When there's a MMIW problem in a country where there's over 5%, we're 5% of the total population in Canada, but there's over 50% of us missing, and that's not a national crisis for some reason. Like, there's a huge disconnect, and our own men aren't doing enough about it, leaders or not, and I don't think it only just comes to the usual white ways of navigating the system, protests, writing, and I'm not saying none of that work is bad. It is good, but I think they've manipulated the system so we cycle into these things. They exhaust us, and now that I've been working on a lot of things, since we first started the first podcast we did together in the past couple months, I'm looking back now and I'm realizing true sovereignty really begins with governing oneself, looking at one's light and dark, integrating that and learning to live in the gray of who you are, learning your shadow, learning your light, and accepting that that you aren't a perfect person. You aren't, the best person, but you're doing the best you can every day, etc. And seeing yourself in that reality for who you really are, and accepting that, you've been bamboozled by colonialism, accepting that, maybe I sold myself out getting this degree. Maybe I sold myself out living in trades and, betraying my people by working in the oil sands while they're getting cancer over here, and work through those feelings, because you're not the only person that feels that way. You're not the only man who feels that way. And a lot of men I find in divinity, you have the feminine and the masculine. Our men, they need to face those shadow sides of themselves and honestly look at themselves for who they are. Even our women, we need to face the shadow sides of those and look at ourselves for who we are. And then once you're able to see yourself clearly, govern yourself clearly, you can work on your own self-sovereignty and be able to help others and make a community of sovereignty. It's something that begins with self, that you expand out. It's easy to see problems and not fix them, but if you can fix your own problems, look at yourself, your true issues and everything, then you can go out and look and do those things. That's how I was able to do it for myself, despite all the atrocities I went to. Sometimes I feel some sort of like weird Forrest Gump type seer bullshit where I've grasped a little bit of all these Indigenous traumatic events, that I just grasped some of them, like residential school and I went to day school as well, and living on reserve, living in poverty, living in domestic, like I was able to experience a little bit of everything, and if I'm able to go through all those experiences and come through and still be sitting here working on my healing, changing and growing, like I believe that everybody else can do that too. Like I think a lot of the time that's why I went through all of that, so I could be like, okay, well I did that too, and I'm not an abuser, I'm not hurting people. So what's your fucking excuse? Why are you still doing that? And I can see where I didn't fit into the system, and I can accept my failures and move past. Why can't you do that? Like, what? Why are you so different? Is it because you don't want to do it because the system is rewarding you, or, like what is it? Don't say you can't do it. There's a reason why you don't want to do it, and looking at that honestly too, unpacking all these shadow sides that keep you from your own true sovereignty. Because once we can sovereign and govern ourselves, we can see the sovereignty and govern others, and not govern others, but work with governing communities, integrating them. And because we earn our discernment when we're able to do all that. And that's something I want to help people work on. When I work on my skill set again, I'm building up my skill set. And like you said, we're going to do the podcast. I want to explore that on there too, what true sovereignty means in the individual context for yourself, for your own uprising, your own becoming, helping you work and helping others work through their own becoming. And then talking about on a macro scale, what does that look like for us as a whole? And how can we help others work on this? And you're doing great work in that already, Darren. I'm so happy to be here with you and MJ and Bren. It's like, I love it. It's such work.
Yes, beautifully said. And I would agree. And the big thing that my goal has always been is collectivism, right? It's the collective, the bringing a collective group together and utilize our strengths, try and be able to deal with our not weaknesses but the differences, and work past those.
Definitely. Yep.
And be able to strengthen and have strength to be able to face the atrocities. That's the key. Is I don't think I know numbers is huge. We need to have a number of people to be able to not buy in, but believe
be able to listen to us. I think that's what the biggest thing is just having people who can actually take the time to listen. And yes, there are going to be rough days. There are going to be rough times. And I think that's what's the most important thing is having that so that we can have these discussions and talk about what needs to be talked about.
Yep.
And that's it. And
Yeah.
if people want to go, they can go. People want to join, please join. Yet it's simply we're all human here and we're just talking about what needs to be talked about and holding the ground because we have been fighting for such a long time. We don't, like my wife and I, we don't care about publicity. We just want people to understand, listen to the conversation, listen to having the actual talking. Like, listen to us. Everything we're going through. It doesn't matter if it's for me or you, Darren, or Char. You need to listen. That's the whole fucking point. And that's
Well,
what I think.
the key for us, and like you said, the building of like this is just one aspect of the idea of building info with integrity and have a network of being able to provide info with integrity where you don't have to read between the lines.
Mhm.
We're not trying to sugarcoat shit here. We're given the uncomfortable conversations. You might not want to hear what we have to say, but it is imperative that you listen to the information, even if you don't follow what we're saying.
Well,
Just
also
be
after
educated.
that, like brother, after that too is simply listen to the fucking indigenous people of this land. That's it. That's I don't know all right now. Listen to the indigenous people who are attempting to use their voice. They're attempting to share what they can. That's it.
That's a great way to end this one. Char, again, always a pleasure. People want to connect with you. Facebook, the best way.
Yeah, you could find me on Facebook. I'm Charlia. There.
Love it. By the
Zoom in
way,
there.
love
There we go.
it. There we
I
go.
am.
There you
There
are.
we go. Whoop, 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 whoop.
My great grandfather's Big Bear.
And we'll have to
Wait,
get
what?
in a conversation about that. Her great
Yeah,
grandfather is
definitely.
Big Bear.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
I'm actually his 7th generation descendant.
Fantastic.
Good. Oh,
See,
shit. All
that
right.
you know what, that would be a good addition to the merchandise line would be to have some representation of Big Bear.
Yeah, we should. I
We
would
should do
actually
that.
love that. That would be,
All right.
yeah, we should.
Let's look
That'd
at
be
that.
awesome. You know, I agree too. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
100%.
GD6, baby.
Oh, yeah.
And
26.
AJ?
We didn't sign, hey?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
AJ,
You and
Bren,
I, we'll figure something out. We'll put the wolf in there. We'll be good to go.
there you
No
go.
treaty signed.
NJ, Bren, where can people connect with you?
We are right now, Facebook. That's it. We just have our Facebook.
Okay, perfect. And then and search Indigenous sovereignty in Alberta, correct?
Oh,
And,
sure,
and
yeah.
for the questions,
Also, Indigenous Sovereignty Alberta is where you can connect with us. That's where we are from. So please
make sure you answer all the questions correctly. They're easy questions. If you're not a piece of shit, you will be able to answer them well. If you're a piece of shit, you're not going to get in. It's pretty easy.
100%. Yep.
Didn't answer and they still let me in.
See, that's a different conversation. That's
for a different time.
A couple of the security places, but no,
You're just
it's
a little
all good.
shit. No, it isn't.
If you enjoy this conversation and others, subscribe to us on YouTube at allegedly NAB. You can find us on Substack at substack.com/ABPoli. You can purchase merchandise right now. We've got the design of a few designs, and we're going to be adding more on the Sovereignty in Saskatchewan line, including Big Bear. And yes, you can get that t-shirt and the hoodie at abpoly.ca. Unsettled, ungovernable, unbought. And that was formerly AIW.
Yeah.
And you can get that, support the show at co-fi.com / allegedly in AB. Everyone, thank you very much. From Treaty 6, I'm DT.
Sorry.
I'm Sharp.
Char from Treaty 6.
From Treaty 6.
And another one, NJ.
Treaty 6. So hope you guys have a great night, and we will talk to you guys soon next week.
Sounds awesome. Good. Everyone take care, and take care of everyone around you.
This has been Allegedly in Alberta on the Info with Integrity Network. Authorized by the Alberta Accountability Alliance, abpolyca@gmail.com.